doing a bit of an impromptu live. Things are going on, and like I always say, real person, real life situation. So I had to squeeze this in while I could. Now, I'll just do a quick recap of obviously the things I value. We'll first and foremost get started with none other than my Pittsburgh Steelers. We had a game against Jacksonville yesterday, and for the most part, the offense actually did very well with both Mason Rudolph and excuse me, oh my goodness, the man's name just left my mind. But Skylar Thompson, sorry, Skylar Thompson, who did very well. I think he threw 20 for 28, 233 yards, and three touchdowns. No interceptions. Love it. So shouts out to him and more importantly, the offensive line, who actually did a great job for the most part, of course, creating a nice pocket, being able to adjust to whatever the defensive line was actually being able to do, affording Skyler and also Mason Rudolph enough time, most of the time, to go ahead and get the ball down the field. Now, the sack that Mason Rudolph took was his own doing. He held on to the ball too long. Whenever you're holding on to the ball for more than really 3 seconds at this point, that ball has to actually be out. So, shout out to the offensive line for the most part for being able to execute in the passing game. My only concern is the running game. From what I actually saw, it was not good. Um, just when you thought you got rid of the toss play, the notorious toss play, rather, it rears its ugly head. It was unsuccessful, but that is not the last that we're going to actually see of the infamous toss play. So, oh boy. Um, I think primarily trying to run to the edges were where the big failures were. There was very minimal success running up the middle. Um, I think that being able to just try to run up the middle is probably going to serve us best. Hey, Roger, is going to serve us best. But I, again, if we're going to like run to the edges, of course, we're going to have to do a lot better as far as making what's called zone steps or reads for zones, which just basically means that an offensive lineman would either have to step laterally to their left or right, depending on what direction the play is going into, and then, excuse me, and then being able to block whoever is in that particular space. It's not about blocking a guy that's directly in front of you. It's blocking the person that if you step to a certain space, who's in that space to block. All right, so War Guy does Roblox. Hello. Um, all right, beans and cornbread. What? Okay. So just real quick here. Any ignorant comments, they're not going to be tolerated. I'm not going to give you a bunch of attention. I'm just going to simply get you up out of here. All right. All right. So, for those that actually just want to be able to talk about sports, and I'm a proud member of the Lion Den's boxing community. If you want to talk about football or possibly boxing, things of that nature, you're more than welcome to stay and we can have a conversation, even if we have a difference of opinion, which is okay. In some cases, it's actually very much welcome because it helps me kind of open up my mind to another viewpoint or another stance on something. That's all well and good. But when you're coming in here making ignorant comments and things of that nature, that's not going to be tolerated. So that's a real quick way to get kicked up out of here. So please keep it civil. All right. Hey man, I appreciate that. Workout does Roblox. I appreciate you, man. Oh, you like basketball? Okay. I'm not too knowledgeable about basketball, but I'm still willing to talk about it. Um, okay. I tell you what. Um, hello, hello, Caitlin. Um, I tell you what. I could go back and go check that, but usually if somebody has to ask me to try to do the mod thing, I have to kind of pause on that because I don't know what the intentions are behind that. But yeah, if everything checks out like you're saying, then sure, I ain't got no problem doing that. Um, oh, okay. Oh, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, A ball. Thank you. Uh, oh, well, hello to you too. Okay. All right. Well, blessed 8319. I'm gonna just go ahead and give you a fair warning, just like I did everybody else. If I sense that you probably up to something, you out of here. I don't. I have zero tolerance for the ignorant stuff. I don't play that. Hmm. Okay. I mean, we'll see, man. I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm going to do something like that. I'm just saying that if something's off, then yeah, it's a lot of trolls out here, and unfortunately, sometimes sometimes people sometimes innocent people may suffer as a result because it looks suspicious. So if you not, I'm sorry. Okay. So moving on, getting back on to my Steelers here, which is what I was originally talking about. I think that we're probably going to have to. We are definitely not probably. We are definitely going to have to address the running game issue. If we cannot run the ball, it is going to be a big problem, a real big problem. So I'm thinking probably in practice this week. We do have Tampa Bay, who's probably going to do some joint practices. I think in practice this week, what we'll probably wind up working on is, of course, um, being able to run block a lot better than what we were doing. And then once we actually start improving in that particular area, then I think that I'll probably feel a lot better. But that passing game was on point, though, for my Steelers yesterday. Roman Wilson had a couple of good catches. It wasn't a whole lot, but from what he actually shown, he did very well. So I definitely appreciate I definitely appreciate the effort that he actually put in last night as far as the receptions that he did have. Um, and then, of course, there were some guys that are actually trying to make the roster that actually made some noise as well. And, at least they'll have some film on them. If it comes down to like cut day and they may not make it, it's a good way to put out some audition tape for another team saying that, hey, this is what I could actually do on the field here. So the preseason always helps those guys as well. So, shouts out to those gentlemen as well. I think with this second game that we're going to play, you're probably going to see the starters in for a series or two against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a home game. I'll have to look at the schedule and see what day it's actually on. I'm thinking that it may be on Friday, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So it could be probably a Friday, definitely a Friday or Saturday game. I don't see them playing on a Sunday, but I think it might be Friday if I'm not mistaken. So I look to see improvements in the running game from this performance yesterday. to the performance they're going to have against Tampa Bay. I don't think it'll be drastically different, but I think that it should actually improve. We averaged like 2.6 a carry yesterday. We got to at least bring that up to 3. I'm not expecting us to drastically raise it to 4 or 5 yards a carry, and then we have over 100 yards rushing, anything like that. But I think that we had like 60 some odd yards rushing. I look to see improvement on that. Hopefully, we get 20 more yards. So it'll probably be like an 80 plus yard rushing day for the entire team. And I don't think that's too much to ask, especially in a preseason format. So we'll see. Hey, Jared, what's happening, man? Thank you so much for stopping by, brother. I appreciate that, man. I was just talking about my Steelers against the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. I was really concerned about the running game, but of course, the passing game and everything else looked pretty good. The defense was decent. It looked more like it was bend don't break, but we had almost all the starters out, with the exception of Peyton Willis and Wilson. I'm sorry, Peyton Wilson. And then we did play our rookie, Derek Harmon, and I think YA Black was in there. YA Black is probably going to be like the steal of the draft, to be honest, man. Yes, yeah. I talked about Skyler as well, man. He looked really good. I hate that for Will, um, but I actually love it for Skyler. He had a chance to actually show, his value. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Shoot, Will may wind up being on a practice squad if Skylar keeps this up, bro. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, moving on to the defense. I'm thinking that yep, we even though we had a bunch of starters out, we did a whole bunch of bend but don't break. We didn't allow a touchdown. The starting defense did not allow a touchdown. But unfortunately, the Jaguars were able to move the ball down the field. That's a bit concerning, but again, they kept them out of the end zone. And man, I would be remiss if I did not talk about that 70-yard field goal, man. That was insane. So just to kind of put a 70-yard field goal into context, um, that's like that's like that's like taking a ball and then kicking it. If you live in a neighborhood, um it would be like taking a ball and then kicking that ball all the way down to the end of the street when you stay on one end, and then the house at the end of and you're kicking it actually at the house at the end of the street, and it goes across the street. um in context, as far as maybe another position, that 70-yard field goal is like a guy, is like a quarterback sitting back, and then he throws the ball maybe 80 yards, and then 80 yards into the end zone. So he's at his own 20 or whatever, and he throws the ball into the end zone 80 yards, and somebody catches it. It just doesn't happen. It's a freaky thing. It is a very freaky thing. So yeah, shouts out to the kicker with that 70-yard field goal, man. That was insane. All right. So speaking of that, I think we had very good coverage on our special teams, as well as pretty good returns on the special teams as well. There were solid returns. They were chunk returns, and what that is basically a return of 10 yards or better. So it was that part of it was pretty good, and definitely appreciated that aspect of it. Now, there was something that I was gonna try to mention, but it slipped my mind. Now, moving on to The family reunion for the people that are actually watching. I'm a part of a group called the Lion Dens Boxing Community. Okay, we're more or less like a family unit. Um, what I like to say about my LDBC brothers and sisters are that yes, boxing did bring us together, but our principles actually kept us intact. That is something that I always value, especially in times like these. And we just had a reunion in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I could not attend, but I've been getting great content from 78 Sports TV, who was actually the founder and the general of the unit. And then Drew Titan, who is an honorary lieutenant, well, who is a lieutenant, not honorary, he is a lieutenant in the LDBC family. And he also has provided some excellent content. The person that I would affectionately call the sensei, Stormy B Man, has also made it to Las Vegas, did some content there as well. And then I would be remiss if I did not mention Tay Tay, the real queen of MMA, is also in Las Vegas. She just posted a picture holding the WBA belt, which was awesome. And, it was well received as far as I'm concerned. So I am glad that the family is actually having such a great time. Hopefully, I will, not hopefully, I'm going to be there New York 2026. So I can't wait to be a part of the family reunion again. And then as far as my own family reunion for my actual bloodline family, we'll also be hosting here in Dallas, Texas. So very excited about those two major events, and I cannot wait to see both my actual family and my LDBC family next summer. So that is definitely something I'm going to be working towards from now until then. Well, there's not much else to talk about. I mean, we could talk about boxing, but um, again, there's not much on that front. Yes, Terrence Crawford is actually training for Canelo Alvarez. Also, yes, unfortunately, there is a very false narrative stating that because Terrence Bud Crawford is associated with Snack, that he may be doing some cheating, but we're not focused on the actual person who got caught for cheating, which is Canelo Alvarez. No one's concerned about him actually cheating, but it's the other way around. I think that there is a fear that Bud Crawford is actually going to humiliate Canelo Alvarez in the ring, and then they'll have some sort of narrative to hang it on once that actually happens, which is a shame. Which is more of a shame is people. I'm just gonna call it out, okay? I'm not. I'm done trying to be nice and politically correct and all of that. Um, Black people ought to be ashamed of themselves for trying to jump on this bandwagon of. And don't get me wrong, because I had somebody come in my comments on another show saying that, oh, um, are you or are you not, saying that we shouldn't criticize black fighters. Anybody. And I want to be clear about this, just in case you watching and you know who you are when you commented. So, no one is above reproach. That includes me. Okay? If I get things wrong as far as like a like a commentary type of situation, or if my information is bad or something of that nature, I have to own and be responsible for that. I get it. Okay, but at the same time, yes, any fighter of any color, race, or ethnicity. I'm so sorry. Jeez, Louise. Ethnicity is not beyond reproach. Okay, nobody is above reproach. Okay, but I'm talking about the specified unfair criticism like this. Like, oh, Terrence Crawford's got to be on snack, or he's got to be on steroids or something like that for him to be bulking up the way that he is, and then him being as fluid as he is while he's bulked up, something's wrong, something's wrong. That man, to my knowledge, has never failed a drug test, ever. But his opponent has. So much so that the WBC actually raised the levels of the illegal substances that this man was taking just so he could pass. Please help me make sense of that. Um, because I definitely don't get it. I definitely don't get it. And is my comment section froze? Oh man. All right, hang on. Yeah, I think my comments are frozen. So if y'all have written anything in the past like 5, 10 minutes, I'm not able to see it because my comments are frozen. But um, getting back onto it, I think that it is egregious, to be quite honest with you, how hard some of these black content creators are going on how hard they're going on Terrence Crawford about the possible use of illegal drugs when it's unproven, first and foremost. And then, secondly, it's out of fear that some mainstream boxing person is going to get embarrassed. If it's bound to happen, it's bound to happen. And also, there's a huge possibility that Canelo could actually win this fight. Like, so what do you say if Canelo actually wins the fight? Um, are you gonna stop saying that Bud is on drugs, or what's gonna happen with that? Or are you gonna do the typical? You know what? I'm not holding back. Are you gonna do the typical nigga shit and be like, oh well, you got on them drugs and it ain't help you, and you the same motherfuckers that when Devin actually fought Ryan Garcia on PEDs, saying bullshit like, "Oh yeah, man, man, hey, he still beat him though. I know that he was on steroids, but I mean he didn't. Devin should have watched the hook, man. Yeah, he gotta watch the hook." Man, you just gotta put your hand up, man. You gotta put your hand up. Put your right hand up. Answer the phone. All that other BS. Okay, so when someone is on performance enhancing drugs, and let me repeat that phrase again, because some of these motherfuckers are very slow. When you are on performance enhancing drugs, what that does is it enhances your performance. God damn. Okay, look, it enhances your performance. So if you're already throwing a very fast left hook, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen with that left hook when you throw it when you on performance enhancing drugs? Jesus Christ, y'all. And I'm not saying this to my people that are actually watching the show. I definitely appreciate y'all. I'm talking about these I'm talking about these jigaboo content creators that'll do anything for clicks, likes, and views. That'll just sell their people out for clicks, like, and views. That will degrade and down talk boxers that actually look like them for clicks, likes, and views. I don't get it. For me, this is a passion project. I'm not in it to try to be a big YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, I love coming on here and being able to speak my heart, not trying to not trying to appease some big corporation that's actually sponsoring me or buying subs for me or whatever the case may be, whatever it is y'all do. Um I'm on here because I'm passionate about the sports that I actually talk about. I'm passionate about my Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm actually passionate about boxing. I love talking about those things. But I want to be able to talk about those things without someone supposedly sponsoring me and breathing over my shoulder and making sure that I say what they want me to. Like that's not why I'm in this. I'm in this because I simply enjoy speaking about these things because I'm passionate about it. Um, and I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm pro-black. I'm not gonna hide that. And just because I'm pro-black doesn't mean that I'm anti everybody else. I got love for everybody. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and soft shoe and tap dance and try to prove that to everybody, like, oh, I love everybody, and then just do some jigaboo tap dance, trying to put down somebody that looks like me just to appease other people. I'm not doing that because at the end of the day, those other people are going to leave you for theirs, and then what do you do after that? I didn't really mean to go down this particular road when I first started doing this live. I just wanted to talk about my Steelers and the LDBC family reunion, which were two very positive things. But most of the time when you think about people that actually don't want to do right by people that actually look like you, that are in your community, that you can easily reach back and try and help up, but instead you want to keep them down so you feel better about yourself, says a lot about that particular person. And I'm just sick of it, to be honest. I am really sick of it. And of I'm tired of I am excuse me, I'm sorry. I am very tired of those of us that just simply don't care about where we're going as a people and not being interested in helping somebody that actually needs it. Um, it just does something to me. But okay, we're gonna wrap this up on a positive note because I do not want to stay here emotionally. We're gonna have to wrap this up. Um, what I will say is that I am proud of the members of the LDBC community that actually came out and went to Las Vegas. Had a great time from what I could actually tell, and more importantly, bonded together and made memories for the rest of their lives. That part I definitely appreciate. That is why I'm a proud member of the LDBC community. And again, that's Lion Den's boxing community. All right. And I am a very proud member of that community. I think it's love, and I definitely appreciate a group of people that can actually come together, have a good time, and be family, basically. That says a whole lot. And for those that want to hate or whatever, start your own thing, do your own thing, build it up, show it off. Okay, it's not like we gonna care, but I mean, do it. You should be able to come together, build like a family unit, just like we did. Hell, do it better, and celebrate that. We'll be too busy celebrating ourselves to be paying attention to what you doing, but hey, give it a shot. You never know what happens. So, on that note, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But speaking of family, please check out my family. I am Trill Will, who has the best political commentary on YouTube. My brother, Coach 67 Sports TV, best Southern University content creator on the face of this planet. My brother, Jared O11 Green, who stopped by earlier. He has a plethora of shows. My two favorites are From a Black Man's Perspective and, of course, The Southern Baller Show. Now, those shows can actually be found on YouTube. The Black Man's Perspective, that's usually on 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube Saturdays. Usually on Sunday, The Southern Baller Show comes on 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, also on YouTube. All right, y'all. This has been a live edition of It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Foxx. And until I see you guys next time,